Hi, I'm Georgia Patton and welcome to Board to Boss, the podcast where we dive into real, unfiltered stories behind building a business. I'm not an expert or a self-proclaimed business guru, I'm just like you. I'm here to listen, learn and soak up the experience and knowledge of others in the hope of bettering myself and my business. This podcast is proudly brought to you by Board George, the go-to designer sunglasses brand from New Zealand, crafting premium polarized sunnies. Okay, first guest of Board to Boss Season 3, which is insane, and we're in a completely different studio this time, in our very own office, which is exciting.
Very cool.
And I've got Hannah here. So she is the founder of Bear Moo, based down in Hamilton.
Yep.
Do you want to give our guests a really quick overview of your business? Just like a couple sentences, nice little brief overview.
So we're an online, and in-store now, baby and kids store. So started with reusable cloth nappies and expanded our own ranges. So we've got two home brands, Bear Moo and Hello Poppet, which is our kids clothing range. And then we retail a whole range of other stuff as well.
Crazy. And how long have you been going for?
7 and a bit years now.
7 and a bit years.
Yeah. So we started May, June 2018.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you start with the intention of starting a business?
Yes. So I was on mat leave with 2 kids at that time and kind of just knew I didn't want to go back to full-time permanent work for somebody else. I needed that flexibility with kids. I was working as a marriage celebrant and wedding planner.
Really?
So I kind of had done a little bit, I guess, of working for myself, but when you do work like that, that's service-based, it's kind of that direct exchange of time for money. And so if I wanted to make more money, I had to work more Saturdays in summer, which
is not ideal with kids.
No, exactly. And so I kind of always liked the idea of e-com. It sounded easier than it is, but I was like, this will be a breeze.
Famous last words, right?
Right. And I was like, it sounds like fun. And I needed a challenge. I needed to learn something new and do something new. And so I said to my husband one Monday, I could sell cloth nappies, and he said, off you go then. And 5 weeks later, we were live. So we just kind of threw a business together and figured I'd see what happened. It was very much a trial by fire and a kind of risk, but financially it wasn't a huge investment. And
calculated.
Yeah, and I kind of went, if it goes well, we'll make a few $1,000s this year. And if it doesn't go well, I've lost a few $1,000s. Like, it wasn't life-changing money that was going to be problematic. So I was like, we'll try it and see what happens. And now we're here. This was not the plan.
So what were those first steps in finding out how to either manufacture or bring in a supplier for, because it's a niche product.
It is.
And 7 years ago,
7 years ago, cloth nappies were just becoming a thing. Like, I mean, there were a couple of brands in New Zealand, but there was a gap in the market in that cloth nappies they felt complicated. And what was available on the market was either really expensive or not that cute. And I was like, there's got to be a middle ground. So I did a lot of research online and found a manufacturer, and I was quite naive. I just kind of went with the first supplier that I liked the product and went, cool, that'll do, which had its limitations, but only kind of as we grew.
Yeah.
And it just did the basics. I've very much in business been a believer of done is better than perfect. Do something, you can fix it later.
100%.
Yep. So created a logo, came up with a business name, created a logo in Canva.
Where's the name from?
My kids. So, the boys. So Regan was always Mr. Moo and Hadley was Hadley Bear.
No, that's so cute.
Yeah. So I wanted something to do with them.
Yeah.
Brainstormed a bunch of ideas, came up with that, built a logo in Canva. Signed up for Shopify, made a website one night and went, that'll do.
Oh my God, do you know we made our logo on Word?
Oh my God.
Because I don't think Canva was even a thing back then.
Oh my God.
And our logo is the type font Georgia. Like, it's just so original, isn't it?
But it's cute and it fits. Like, we were totally fine with our logo until other people, because we were using a Canva bear. And then had Bear Moo. And then I was getting messages from people being like, somebody's stolen your logo. I'm like, they really haven't. It's a free Canva photo. Like, I can't trademark this. I can't do anything with it because it's not mine. And so probably 2.5 years ago now, we were like, okay,
we need to do it.
We need to, it was 2-3 years ago, something like that. And so we worked with our designer and I was like, we need a new logo that's just a bit revamped and a bit more us.
And not from Canva.
Not from Canva, something I can actually trademark. But that was, and I just kind of did it and got the social media handles, started posting online, and I was like, we'll just see what happens. And we opened up pre-orders and away we went.
I love these stories because there's like no plan behind it, right? It's
none.
just let's just chuck some shit at a wall and see what sticks.
Everybody who's like, you've got to start a business with a business plan. I'm like, I've never written a business. So a couple of years ago, I was one of the finalists for EY Entrepreneur of the Year.
Oh, amazing.
In New Zealand, which is a really cool experience. And I was so out of my depth because some of the people that were also finalists are like epic, huge business people that are making
what am I doing
like
here?
billions of dollars internationally. And I'm like, I sell nappies, but cool. And I remember being in the interview for the finals with Celia from My Food Bag, Celia Robinson. And we were talking about expanding into Australia, and I was talking about how like I run the business on gut feeling a lot. And she was like, please don't expand into another country based purely on gut. And I was like, no, I'll totally do research. Spoiler alert, I did no research. We were just like, we'll just start shipping to Australia and see what happens. But like, I'm very much that person where I'm like, well, like, what's the worst that can happen?
I'm the same as well.
If I make a decision, and it doesn't work, is it going to break me and my family and the business? Is it going to kill us? Is it going to financially endear us?
And then you'll move on.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, as long as it's not like going to actually fuck us, then I'm like, we're fine. We can fix it later. Yeah.
So I want to jump right back.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me about what you did other than Marriage Celebrant before Bear Moo? So your journey through your careers, just so that the listeners know that getting to this point isn't exactly a linear line, because I don't speak to any business owners who ever... Actually, that's a lie. One business owner comes straight to mind, wanted to be a founder.
Yeah.
Kate from Moody.
Oh, yeah.
Pop off, queen.
Yeah, go hard. This was not my life plan. My life plan was to sail along and do as little as possible and be happy. Like, I was the kid when they said in school, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was like, I want to be happy. Like, I remember reading that quote somewhere once. I was like, and Mum's like, cool, that's not how life works, mate. Like, you need to make some money. But I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be an actress. I just wanted to do things that were fun. I didn't have a career path in mind. And when I was at uni, all my girlfriends that I was living with and stuff were like, you're the one who's going to do great things. And I was like, really? Because like that feels like hard work.
What did you like? How did you know what to do at uni then?
So I didn't. I grew up in Wellington. I just went. It was just the thing you did. Like when you were a smart kid at school, and I did well in school. The expectation was that I would go to university.
It was the expectation for everybody.
Yeah, and that was, and back then, like this was just over 20 years ago, tech and trades weren't, like they were seen as the backup. They weren't seen as a good alternative.
100%.
I'm like, if my kid turned around and said, I want to be a plumber, I'd be like, go hard, mate. There's like, do it.
There's money in that.
Whereas back
Look after me, King.
Yeah, it was like the smart kids went to uni and then everybody else did a trade or went and got a job. And now I'm like, I get applications for jobs and I'm like, I'm barely looking at your education. Like that's so irrelevant to me that I'm like, I don't care. But that was what you did. So I lived in Wellington, came up to Waikato Uni and did a Bachelor of Communication Studies in Marketing and PR because...
so you've actually studied marketing.
Well, yes, but that was before Facebook existed.
It was like how to do a billboard and what colours make you feel hungry.
Yeah, and like write a press release and like put together a PR pack. It was... We did a paper called Communication in Cyberspace where you had to join an online forum and pretend to be somebody else to like prove how easy it was to like hide your identity online. That was literally the only digital marketing we did. Yeah. Yeah, that was it because the internet wasn't like, God, this makes me sound old.
Non-existent.
But it was non-existent. I lived my uni years where like you'd come home and you'd dump an entire album of photos on Facebook because it was like the first year that Facebook existed. Like,
oh, how good.
It was great.
You go out for a night out with your digicam and then upload the whole cam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those are the days.
Those are the days. And you could pretend things didn't happen because it wasn't all over live social media. So I did my degree and then I started working at the university. So I spent a lot of my working career at Waikato Uni. I did PR and marketing for student services. I set up the careers office. I did a lot of that. I had an amazing boss who on the first day was kind of like, this is what you do in a year. Let me know if you've got any questions. And I was like, you know that I've got no idea what I'm doing. Like I've never had a proper job in my life. Cool. Okay. But she was so supportive and just gave me a lot of leniency to try things and see what worked. And then I met my husband, my now husband, just before I finished uni. So we moved in together after 2 months and bought a house after 11 months and just went, let's see what
Hey, me and we seem very, very similar. Is it risk adverse? Is that it, or risk? It's risk adverse, eh? Yeah, me and my partner met, and 5 months later we'd bought a house as well.
Everybody was like, it's such a great big commitment. I'm like, no, it's not. If we break up, we sell the house. It's
That's
fine.
exactly. We just said it's a great investment. Like, we'll just split the profits and move on our way. But it's been a good investment so far.
So far we're good. So we got together, and then we did our OE together. So after I did a couple of years at uni, we went over to the States and Canada, did summer camp. Lived in Vancouver for 2 years, and I did like admin roles, did some event work on a volunteer base, came back, ended up back at the uni in the student recruitment team. So going out to high schools and talking to kids about what they wanted to study and creating program plans. I organised open day.
Love it.
Moved into the events team and always loved events. But by that point, I was also running the wedding planning business. And so I would spend all day working on corporate events and then go home and work on people's weddings.
So was that your own business?
The wedding planning, was my own. And I was like, this is too much of the same and too much stress. And then Richard and I decided we wanted to think about kids, and the job was quite stressful, and I didn't think I'd get pregnant working in such a high stress environment. So I went and worked as an EA.
That sounds stressful too.
Well, it really wasn't, because he really didn't need an EA. So I ended up being a finance assistant because I was so bored. I was like, teach me how to do bank reconciliations, thanks, to fill my day in. And I was there maybe 2 months and got pregnant. And
oh, wow.
So I barely made a year, I don't think, because Regan was 8 weeks premature. So he came early. And so that was me. I'd run a celebrant business, but that's just you selling yourself. I'd never done product-based. I'd never done anything along those lines.
So completely teach yourself, YouTube, Google, that kind of vibe. Same as most of us around here. Every evening, YouTube videos.
Yeah, I watched a lot of free webinars in my lifetime and been to a lot of courses. And I think you do it for a long time before you kind of go, hang on, I know more than the people that are in this room. Okay, now I need the next level. I need to start paying for stuff now. I can't keep doing the free things anymore. But just kind of winged it.
Okay, and so you've got your e-com nappy business. Mm-hmm. What was the next step in growing Bear Moo? Because now you're not only an online retailer.
Yeah.
You're a stockist of other brands as well. Plus you now have a retail store. So what did that 7-year journey look like, from getting to just selling nappies to now being this conglomerate that every mum in New Zealand knows?
The retail store was not
on the bingo card?
No. Everybody asked for years if I'd open a store. I was like, absolutely not. Now we have a store. So the nappies were the first thing, and then I very quickly realised that it was easier to sell to people who already know, like, and trust you. Mm-hmm. And mums don't just need nappies; they need other things. So it became a very easy decision to be like, well, if they're already coming to me for nappies and they like what they're buying from us, if I had more things available, they'd probably buy more things from us. So we expanded the Bear Moo range first and started doing the wet bags and cloth wipes and other things that kind of fit with nappies. And then we did breast pads and change mats and all the things. And then we started stocking other products that felt like they went with that. So we did period underwear for a long time. We did stainless steel pegs and things that kind of still fit that sustainability vibe. And then we did lactation cookies. So we moved into stocking the lactation station. And then that was kind of all we were doing when we were at home. And then when we moved into the warehouse, we suddenly had all this space. And I was like, oh, we've got to put something in it. And that was also kind of the time that COVID hit. So I got a little bit nervous that if there were shipping delays or issues with our products, what were we going to sell to bring in money? And so I was like, right, well, what's already in New Zealand that we can access? And so that was kind of the start of us expanding the range. And
so
we were
instead of kind of slowing down in COVID, you just...
We went gangbusters.
Oh, wow.
We were incredibly... It was quite a hard time because all the stories in the media and all these other businesses were really struggling. And I could empathise with that. But on the flip side, e-com went crazy because everybody was at home. They couldn't go out for coffee. They couldn't go out for lunch. They all had money in their pocket. They didn't want to go to the supermarket. So they were like, well, if I'm going to be home, I may as well try cloth nappies. Now's the time to do it. And they all needed a bit of online shopping, and they needed toys for their kids to keep them entertained at home. And we prior to
we
that
can be that for you guys. We can be that.
Yeah. And so we went from $5,000-$10,000 months to April 2020. April 2020, we did 80,000. So we literally went from like kind of just ticking along and slowly growing to like going gangbusters really quickly. And that was the start of like the COVID boom for e-com and for us, and this mad period of scaling when we had no clue what to expect. And that just became our new normal, which is why I think the last year for everybody's been really hard. But it's been hard because I don't know what normal looks like, because we were small and then we were massive, and then now I'm like, I don't know what normal
it's really
look like.
It's a common sentiment you hear from businesses that COVID was actually really, really good for e-com.
Yeah.
And it was a horrible time, but I was still working out of my parents' spare bedroom at that time. I was teeny tiny, but for us as well, it was good.
Yeah.
People were spending. They wanted to support small. Do you remember the support small movement? There was a badge and you put it on everything and everyone's like, oh, I'll buy from them. But now nobody knows what their norm is, because there's no consistency in the years. There's no consistent growth. There's no consistent anything.
No.
And so predictions are so hard.
We had this mad growth period for the first probably 4 years. Like the first year in business, we did 30,000 in revenue. Then the next year we did 300,000. Then we did $1 million. Then we did $2 million. Then we did $3 million. And now it's like you're getting tiny incremental growth as opposed to this mad, like we just assumed that growing 800% in a year was normal because that was all we'd done. And then all of a sudden we're growing like,
you're not growing 800%. What?
And now we're growing like 10 or 15%. And everybody's like, that's great. And I'm
that's
like,
normal.
Oh, is it? Because it feels kind of shit because it's not what we were used to. So we've done all this planning based on like that being the trend. And then, obviously the market's crashed and nobody's got any money.
Yeah.
And it's now kind of navigating what normal looks like.
So would you say that that's kind of the one point in your business where things took off, or is there some other things that kind of catch your mind? Maybe someone posted about you, or you learned a new trick in the back end, or is there any other things that kind of trick your mind and you go, actually, we saw a boom then and it kind of took the business to the next level?
Yeah, COVID was definitely, I think the first point was launching the business, and we very quickly got in with, I guess, the influencer brand ambassador.
prime.
Yeah, like back when that was first becoming a thing, we were very lucky because we were small and I built genuine connections with these people and they became friends, that people were sharing our stuff. And so that was the first thing that just took us from nobody knowing who we were to regular sales. And then COVID was absolutely that next boom for us. And then I think it was probably product expansion. So Bear Moo has become, I guess, more of a household name in the baby industry, but adding Hello Poppet and expanding into the silicone toy range and doing these other things, realizing that diversifying needs to happen.
Yeah.
And then I think just like we've been to China, we visited our manufacturers, starting to see the business in all of its parts, has then been able to change the way that we do things and get us thinking a little bit bigger picture about what that looks like and what we're going to offer and where we're going to go.
Was that decision to diversify hard? Because obviously we're just a sunglasses brand and we have been told in the past to diversify. But in my head, I'm like, no, I want to be the best eyewear company in New Zealand and Australia before I even think about adding another product. I want to be the best. I want to be the go-to.
Yeah.
Do you reckon I'm holding myself?
No, I think for us, our audience is so...
They need a lot of things.
Yeah, they need lots of things, and you've only got that baby stage for so long. So then it's, okay, well, how do we get them out of that 0 to 3? How do we get them from that 3 to 6 years? How do we then get them from that 6 to 8 years? And as my kids are growing, I'm going, okay, well, actually, my kids don't want that anymore. They want this. So it's kind of been natural to expand that with my family. But I also think there's something to be said for doing something and doing something really well.
Yeah.
Part of the issue that we've got is that what's changed over the last few years is nobody gives a shit about sustainability when they've got no money. So when the cost of living crisis comes in, nobody can comprehend, I'm going to spend $500 on cloth nappies and be done with nappies for the next 3 years. They can think, I can buy $15 worth of nappies this week and then I'll deal with it again next week. So disposables just became easy because it was all people could afford, and that was where their brain went.
It's funny. So you've seen that trend too. So
100%.
like 3 years ago, because we are on our sustainability journey. A lot of our sunglasses are made with plant-based or biodegradable acetates. And that was our selling point 3-4 years ago. Like people loved that. And I reckon in the past 2 years, we've seen that switch back. I don't reckon people could care less. No. Like we're still going down that road. But it's not a main point of our marketing anymore, which is so...
It's crazy.
It seems backwards,
it does, because I think as a country, we need to be thinking about the future. But I also think that's been one of the things for us with Bear Moo is that we're not a sustainability brand. Cloth nappies are a sustainable product, and wet bags replacing plastic bags, and our reusable change mats replacing the disposable puppy pads that you buy online. Everything we do does have a reusable aspect to it within our brand, but we're about saving families money. We're not about being the most eco option out there.
You're saving families money, but you're playing your part as a business as well, right?
Absolutely.
You're doing your best, and that's all you can ask.
And we do we recycle everything. We pay to soft plastic recycle, and we recycle the glassine off the back of the courier labels, and we do huge amounts of sustainability because that's important to us as people. But the nappy trend has absolutely decreased, and I just don't think people have the capacity to think bigger than themselves when the world feels hard and nobody's got any money.
Oh, nobody has any money. I do not blame anybody for 100%. The situation we're in this year. Like, it has been a year. It has been a really tough year.
It's probably been a tough 2 years. Like, it was.
People were like, it's going to get better.
The beginning of 24, it was survive to 25. And now we're in 25, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? When do we get out of this? And they keep saying it's coming, and I'm like, I'm sure it will eventually.
I've been waiting a long time. Can you guys actually make it happen?
Yeah, because it's stressful when you're a business owner and you've got people's wages to pay, and you've got, you look at this daily sales target and you're like, cool, we didn't make budget again today. Like, this tide needs to turn.
And you go, come on, people, spend your money. We look at Shopify and we're like, come on, purchase come through. And then we go, no, think about how we're spending our money at the moment, and we're not. So we can't blame other people for not doing the same thing.
Absolutely. And I don't want to get caught in the materialistic cycle and the spending for the sake of spending. But it does mean you've got to think about how you're doing business.
You're a business.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to make money.
Exactly. It's been a journey.
The other day on the phone, we were actually talking about Klaviyo, and I wanted to get your email marketing journey because I think you've got a real cool perspective on it. What were you using before?
Probably MailChimp.
Like a MailChimp?
Probably. I think that's where we started.
were using one called MailerLite.
MailerLite? Yeah. I think we used that at some point.
Yeah.
We did all the cheap free. I mean, when you first start a business, you've got no money, right?
Yeah, and Klaviyo is expensive.
And so it was, we're going to use all the free shit and all the cheap stuff. And now I'm still like, can I get a bargain on whatever it is I'm doing? But we made the switch to Klaviyo years ago. I don't even remember when, probably 4 or 5 years ago. And I would struggle to change now.
Oh, same.
It's such a good piece of software. It's so intuitive. And yes, it costs us money, but when I see what the return on that is.
When you see the percentage of your monthly revenue coming from Klaviyo.
It just makes sense to me. And there's been lots of narrative lately about switching to alternative options and, new players coming into the game. And I'm like, for something like email marketing where it makes up such a large percentage of our revenue, I'm not willing to fuck with that. Like, I'm not willing to trial something different on a maybe. And I also think that with Klaviyo, there's so many different ways that you can make it cheaper through segmentation. Like, our biggest expense is because we send so many emails. So we've got a database of about 45,000 people, something like that. So that would cost us $650 a month for email. The problem is we send about 5 emails a week. So if we were only sending to our email subscribers within the limits that we had, we'd be spending about $650 a month. Because we send so many emails, it kind of doubles that. So for us, it's been about how can we segment that so that we're not sending, and none of our customers want to get 5 emails a week. They don't need it. But we've got so many products that it's
jealous.
We'll do an email about lactation products, we'll do an email about a sale, we'll do an email about something that's new in store, we'll do an email about gift guides and toys and nappies and clothes. Like, we've got so much that we can do, so many different things, but it becomes about being clever, like more clever with the way we segment so that we're not just throwing money at nothing.
You go through and suppress your emails that are not active so that you're saving money on those profiles. Sunset flows to bring people back in.
Exactly.
All that sort of stuff set up. What are your flows like in the back end?
That needs some work. I feel like there's been a switch there. It's something we looked at over the last few months because I found I think we overcomplicated our welcome series now. Thank you flows. But then since we've made changes, the revenue from those has decreased. So it's something we're working on at the moment. Yeah. So we've got welcome series. We've got abandoned carts and abandoned checkouts. We've got back in stock flows. We've got, all the basics.
Jess, my employee, froths this sort of stuff.
And it's something we want to do a lot more with because I think there's definitely some flows that we could be doing around consumable products and, things like that. But once we expanded into Australia and we had to change up some of those sign-up forms and some of those flows, I think we got a little bit of work to do there because flows are just such easy money when you've got them working, when they're working right.
Yep. Anyone out there who's listening and doesn't have their flows set up, that's today's job. Yep. Go and do it. And do it. As someone in the middle of my pregnancy journey, I get it. Our bodies are doing the absolute most right now. We deserve a bra that's there for us through every leak, lift, and late night feed and still makes us feel good when we look in the mirror. I've learned that buying quality really matters because our bodies deserve support that lasts. And with Hot Milk, I don't have to settle for ugly nursing bras. They blend comfort, functionality, and style into every maternity and nursing bra. From everyday t-shirt bras to gorgeous lace that makes you feel like yourself again. I've personally gone for the wireless styles and they did not disappoint. They also have the largest row of hooks on the back, perfect for when my former itty bitty titties are, let's just say, graduating. Because feeling strong, beautiful, and supported shouldn't stop when motherhood starts. Hot Milk is proud to be a New Zealand-based, female-founded company and will celebrate its 20th anniversary this November. And right now, you can get 20% off full-priced items. Just use the code BOARD20, valid till the 3rd of October. And a big thank you to Hot Milk for bringing us this episode of Board to Boss. So what has been your biggest challenge or mistake in business? I know there's probably like hundreds that come to mind because when I talk about this stuff, I'm like, oh, what one do I start with? But like, let's go with two. What are two things that you look back on and you're like, oh, that was bad?
I think the biggest, I don't even think it's a big mistake, but I think the mistakes are often in product ordering. So I think it's really easy to get caught up in what your competitors are doing and what the latest cool thing is online without stopping to think about my own audience.
Yep.
So I've chosen to stock some products before because I've seen them and gone, oh, that's cool. And it turns up and it doesn't move and you're left with stock because of who our audience is or because I want to be part of the cool kids club. And then I'm like, that's actually not who our people are. We're not bougie boutique baby store. We are your everyday family.
So easy to lose yourself and lose your audience in what you're seeing every day. And we see so much content and we're absorbing it all.
And the moment you look at your competitors, you're like, I've got to do more. And it's like, actually, ignore what everybody else is doing. What do I want to do?
And what do our customers want?
What do our customers want? So I think I've definitely made some bad product decisions over the years. But I've learned to fail fast with that. You give it 90 days and if they're not moving, you discount them, you move on and you try something else.
Don't have a cry anymore.
You just go, oh, well, I cry about other things instead. My husband loves my regular breakdowns. It's so good. I think the hardest part of business, and I think lots of people will say this, is people. It's staffing. And not because people are bad, because people are real people.
And they've got emotions.
They've got emotions and it's hard to separate business from emotions. And, we went through a phase during that COVID period where we hired a lot of people because we were anticipating all this growth and it didn't pan out and we had to do a restructure because we couldn't afford the staff that we had. And that sucks
it's heartbreaking.
These are people I built friendships with. But it's that or none of us have a job because the business is going to go under. But I've had to learn to be a better leader and better manager because I didn't play in a business to hire people. But you also, there's that balance between being a really understanding person and getting that everybody's got things going on at home and everybody's got other things they need to deal with and also what's best for the business.
Yep.
So I think dealing with staff and staffing and recruitment and hiring the right people and restructures and emotions and all of that is by far the hardest part of running a business.
How many staff do you have?
We are at 6. We're about to be 7.
Oof.
We were at 12 at one point.
Really? Oh, so you did quite a big restructure.
We went from 12 to 6 in a very short period of time. And then, 12 to maybe down to 5. And then we've slowly changed it and built it again. Not everybody's full time. And we've had to make some changes again this year, just that juggle with kids and what works for us as a family as well. But yeah, it's that balance. Like it kind of becomes what's the most we can do with the least, because business is hard and, you need efficiencies and you need it to go well, but also you want to support the people, you want to do right by the people that you've got and be building them up and giving them new opportunities and stuff like that as well. But yeah, staffing is hard.
You mentioned your family just before. When I reached out to our following and asked some of the topics that they wanted to hear, a lot of it was, how do you run a business and have a family and do both? I say well in, Pretty
sure I'm failing at everything sometimes. I think I often get asked about work-life balance.
How old were the kids when you first started?
1 and 2.
Oh, so I think. So this is going to be me soon.
Yeah, 18. I think Hadley was about 18 months. So Regan would have been 2.5. There's 17 months between.
Give me all your advice. Fire it at me. There's a lot of pregnant business mamas out there needing this.
I think the first thing to acknowledge and recognise is that I don't think work-life balance exists. I think there's no such thing. I think you just prioritise what needs doing at any given point. I am incredibly lucky to have a village. So my husband is in the business now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So he joined end of 2020. And so when we had Maddie, that newborn experience was totally different because he was around.
You could both be in the business.
He had lots of time with her while I went back to work. Although she was back at work within about a week of being born, we had a recliner set up and I'd just go to work and breastfeed and chill so that I was there.
That's kind of my plan.
Yeah.
This couch will be set on alert.
Yeah, I think as women, we just get shit done. And when I look back at, we had baby loss and I had newborns and things, and we just, as something happens, we just get on with it.
You don't have a choice.
No. I think I was, and then on top of that, my mum lives across the road. So we have a lot of family support. I think it's really important that we try to build a village. And I know that that's really hard these days, but I think accepting support and reaching out, even if, paid support, whatever you need to do, we have a house cleaner that comes once a week. And it costs me $100 a week, but for my sanity, it means that I know that on a Thursday my house is going to be clean. It'll be trash by Friday, but for a moment it is.
The kitchen will be wiped, the stove will be clean. I'll come home, be happy, and then in an hour,
And it's I think the other thing to remember in business is that if you're going to own a business, it has to work for you.
Yeah.
Because if it's not working for you, you may as well go and work for somebody else, because owning a business is so much stress, and it's you're always on. Like owning a business is a 24/7. You lie in bed at night and you're thinking it's something. Exactly. And so the benefit has to be there, because if it's not, you may as well go and get a job.
What's your benefit then?
I think
the flexibility is
everything. So our warehouse is open 8:30 till 5. The shop is open 9 till 5, because that way if people are running late, we're not stressed. Somebody is always there by 9 o'clock to open the shop. And if the kids have school activities, I take Maddie to her dance class. Richard's the football coach this season. Like we're doing all the things with the kids.
And you just would not be able to do that with normal.
Could not do that with working for somebody else, because it wouldn't be fair on my employer for me to be like, hey, I'm going to be late every single day. Like getting out the door, getting 3 kids and Richard and I out the door for one of us to be at work by 8:30 is damn near impossible most days. I don't know how people who work full-time do it all the time, because school hours do not align with working hours. Like it's a juggle.
The system's broken.
The system is broken. And so, I rely on my mum a lot, and Richard's parents are local as well, and they'll have the kids in the school holidays. I love school holidays because all the grandparents want the kids to stay and I can get more work done. Like it is brilliant. But day to day, it's hard, and you constantly feel like you're failing. And if you're dropping balls at work, or you're not not moving fast enough and not getting things done, and you're seeing what your competitors are releasing, and you're like, that's on my roadmap. That's like, I'm here doing this stage of it, and I just haven't quite gotten to that stage, and everybody else is kind of moving ahead. Or you get home and you're dealing with emotions of kids and trying to be focused for them, but you're in that dinner, bath, bedtime rush, and you're not feeling like you're giving them quality time. Like, you feel guilty all the damn time.
I was just going to say, one of the most common things I hear of new mums who have businesses is the mum guilt.
Yeah.
And it's, if I'm with my kids, I feel guilty that I'm not with my business. And if I'm with my business, then I feel guilty I'm not with my kids.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, I mean, I don't even have my baby girl yet. And I feel guilty if I go home and I physically am so tired that I can't open my laptop, and I lie there and I'm going, I should be working. I should be working. What is that going to be like when she actually arrives? Man, I am a little bit nervous about how much guilt I am going to feel.
I think the first 3 months you're going to get more done than you think you will, because I think the newborn haze is so real, but they sleep so much that you kind of...
I hope so.
I was in NICU doing reconciliations for my old boss because I was so bored.
Yeah.
Because there was lots of periods where I couldn't cuddle my baby because he was an incubator and things like that. But I found that newborn phase easier to do things. I was exhausted, don't get me wrong, because, they wake every 3 hours, or, like they're not even that.
But are you someone who needs something for yourself as well and to keep your brain moving?
100%.
Because I think that's where I'm going to sit.
I am not cut out to be a stay-at-home mum at all. I'm just not that. I am not a messy play person. I am not. My mum is brilliant at it. She's like, great, here's the crafts and the glue and the everything. And I'm like, oh dear God, this is my worst nightmare. I am not cut out for that. That is why my kids have all gone to kindy. They love it. They can do all the messy play, come home. But I think it is... I think as well, it gets to the point where you have to put boundaries in place with the business. Like, it gets to the point where you're just busy for the sake of busy. You're not productive.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah. And so you go, I've got so much to do. I need to open my laptop, and I'm like, it's 10 o'clock at night.
Is it
what
really
am I actually achieving? Yeah. Am I making progress on something, or am I just opening my laptop because I need to feel the need to tell people that I work 60 hours a week, it's okay if I want to read a book and lie in bed and get some sleep.
Who has the energy to read a book, man?
Oh, I read a lot, but it's nothing
That has been my goal this year, is to hop into bed and read my Kindle. And I get into bed and I go, man, I feel like I've been reading all day.
I don't read anything intelligent. I read hockey, spicy romances. I read absolute utter trash. If you want smut recommendations, I am your girl. If you want to know anything intelligent, absolutely not. I've got a stack of business books by my bed that I bought that I have every good intention of reading. I can't pick them up.
Sometimes you just need that mindless, like that's me with Love Island.
Yes.
And with Married at First Sight. Do you know what I mean?
Love Island is like the pinnacle of amazing television.
I sit there for an hour. My brain just goes, what is this rubbish? And I love it.
I love it.
I love it. I thrive off it. I text my mum. I text my sister.
Yeah.
What is this bitch doing?
Yeah. I am a smart woman. I do not want to think smart. I don't want to watch smart things. I don't want to be educated. I work hard all day, and then when I want to switch off, I want to watch trash and read trash and switch my brain off.
My partner hates it,
Richard does not.
He hates it. He hears the music come on and he's like, I'm out. I'm going for a run. You go do you, boo. I'm going to sit here and enjoy this.
Yeah. You got to have the entertainment. You got to have something that helps you switch your brain off, because otherwise you will just work 24/7.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to quickly touch on one other thing. Yep. We can just briefly touch on this. Community.
Yeah.
That's massive for you guys.
So massive.
What do you think has been your number one driver for building such an intense community? And for those listening, I just wanted to say, I didn't even know who Bear Moo was at the start of this year.
Yeah.
I got a invite to your opening of your new store. That was my first introduction. So obviously, if you're not a mother, why would you be in that world?
Yeah.
My sister frothed it. She went, you are going to that and you are getting me an invite. She was so excited. And that was the second I went, oh,
yeah,
they have community. We
100% have community.
Women that love, support, thrive. She knew your name. She knew your story. She was the one who said, you've got to get this lady on your podcast.
I love your sister already. She's great. Love this.
Well, you live like 7 minutes apart.
I know. She can come in anytime. Right from day one, I knew who I was as a person, and I knew that I was not the Instagram narrative that was happening at the time. 7 years ago, Instagram was very curated. It was very bougie. It was very beige. It was very, here's my perfect house, and here are my perfect children, and here's the perfect lunchbox that I made, and here is the very curated parts of my life. And I'm not that person. My house looks like shit half the time. It is trash. I have 3 children. They eat the same thing in their lunchbox every day, and it will always include a peanut butter and jam sandwich. Like, there's nothing fancy about the way I do life. And that's what's worked.
Relatability.
When I've shown up on social media, it's changed as my kids have gotten older, because they appeared on social media a lot when they were younger. And now as they've got older, it's like, no, you can't be on social media in your school uniform. No, you can't walk in the room naked. Thank you. Can you please go put some clothes on? And they still want to be a part of the business, and they still want to show up on social media, but that's become a little bit more careful, I guess. In the early days, I'd turn up on social media in my dressing gown and drink a Malibu and talk shit with my pile of washing behind me. Like, it's never been curated. I've been in the throes of parenthood with my customers.
Yeah.
So it's always been really relatable.
You have been your customer base.
Absolutely. And it does get harder as I get older. And like, my youngest is now 4, so we're not in the nappy stage anymore. We're not, there's a lot of things that are different. But I think that the community comes from relatability. It becomes from being really authentic. And I know that's a real buzzword, but I think it would be exhausting to try to show up on social media every day as somebody that's not you.
How do people do it? I know. Honestly.
And if you are bougie and curated and beautiful all the time, then
some people are. And I look at them and I go, you look fantastic every day. Yeah. I just can't do it.
I put makeup on this morning, and that was the first time in I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. Like, I'm not that person, and I was never going to be that person. But I also think with our content, we've always tried to have a laugh. Yeah. We're about building community. We flew people up to Hamilton for the launch party. We're running a competition at the moment where we're going to give away 4 different prizes, but they're not necessarily just Bear Moo things. It's a coffee machine or a spa day for mum or whatever. We know, we talk to our customers a lot, and we ask them what they want, and we try to meet them where they are. Yeah. But yeah, community for us has been about, we've got the Facebook group and we engage in that, but I still reply to a lot of DMs. If people want to have a conversation with me, they can. It's been about being true and being authentic the whole time.
We're pretty similar. And like a lot of panels I go to, it's always because of our brand and our social media. And I feel like there's times where we get quite lost again in watching what other people do. Oh my God, their content looks so beautiful. The grid looks so aesthetic. Yeah. And then we go, it's not us. Yeah. We are idiots in the office, and people love watching our daily vlogs and seeing that we actually have a lot of fun at work. Trust me, we do work. Often my dad's like, George, why are you just eating donuts all day? It's like, well, you don't want to see the 3 hours where I'm just sitting on my computer replying to emails. But that's how we've built the community, is showing the building of the business.
Exactly. And I think it does sometimes give a false narrative, because when we recruit, we'll get a lot of people who are like, I love Bear Moo, and I'm like, cool, that's
we
not
do actually work.
Yeah, they're like, I love your content, or we love your products. And I'm like, those reels that you've just seen were 20 minutes one day where we filmed 10 reels, and that's smashed out ready for the next week or 2. And then we're working our ass off. So it's not like you don't come to work for us because you want the Bear Moo experience, because you don't get the Bear Moo experience. You get
the office admin.
Yeah, you get the office admin. You get the packing 100, 150 orders a day. You get the day in, day out slog. And yes, we have fun and we all like each other, and we have lunch together as a team, or we try and have a laugh, and we get together and we talk through stuff and we film content, and it's great. It's an enjoyable place to be, but it's not fun. Like it's still a job at the end of the day.
It's now time for special delivery, brought to you by Go Sweet Spot, the shipping platform saving businesses time, money, and stress by comparing courier options, integrating with your online store, and streamlining the entire delivery process. Go Sweet Spot changed the game for me at Board George. This one platform has saved me time, reduced stress, and its simplicity is unmatched, with customer service that is second to none. In this segment, we share tools and hacks you can instantly implement, and for us, Go Sweet Spot has been this hack. Okay, let's get into the new segment that we have called Special Delivery. Yeah. So this is where you bring something to the table for our listeners to implement. Yep. Go for it.
So we talked about this a lot and went back and forth on a few ideas. And unfortunately, this is only going to be relevant if you've got an e-com business. But for those of you who do, there's an app that I use that I really, really rate. And it's called Sale and Discount Manager or Sales and Discount. I will get you
I'll
the
put
link.
it in the link.
Yeah. I think it's like $9.95 a month. It's cheap as chips. But what it does is it allows you to schedule sales. So
Which is genius.
It's genius. It means that, and it will change the price on the website. So it'll give you the before and after price so people can see the price they're paying. It's not an enter a discount code and then the price shows up. And you can have as many running as you like. So if we're doing a sale and we're going to do 20% off this and 50% off that and 5% off this, whatever, we can load exactly which products. You can search by brand. You can do whole collections or just one product or whatever. You can choose a start and an end date. You can get it to add or remove tags during the sale period. So we have in the back end all of our products that you can use discounts on are tagged with a certain word, and all the ones that you can't are tagged with a different word.
Amazing.
So during a sale period, we get it to add and remove those tags so that you can't use discounts on top of sale items.
Yeah.
And then you tell it when you want it to end. And so when we're doing a sale, it just all
Oh, and that's incredible because the first thing that pops to my mind is the need for businesses. And I mean, it's a strategy to close your website for 12 hours while you're doing the back end stuff. Build hype, do it. Amazing, love it. But quite a lot of times, if you're a really big company, they're doing that at 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right? When people are sleeping so that everything's ready to go.
Yeah.
This app.
It's great.
Does
we
it
use
for
it
you.
all the time. Every time we run a sale,
$9.
$9 a month or whatever it is, and it just trucks along and does the hard work for you.
Well, I tell you, we're actually going to be downloading that and giving it a go, I think. Because for our Black Friday sale this year, we are testing out a few different things. Yeah. And this app sounds...
I think we've got to test things for Black Friday. You've got to do something different for Black Friday.
Actually, maybe we should test before Black Friday.
Let me know if you need a hand setting it up. Black Friday's coming and it's coming fast.
Oh, it is. It is. That's a story for a whole nother day.
A whole nother podcast.
Anyway, this has been so good.
It's been so
I'm
nice
coming
to
away
chat.
with so much.
Awesome.
And I think the listeners are too. But your story is phenomenal and you are thriving.
Thank you. Some days I feel like I'm surviving, not thriving, but I love it. I couldn't
take the compliment.
I couldn't imagine doing anything else. So it makes it so much fun.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Board to Boss. And to say thank you, here's a cheeky little treat just for you. Use the code BOSSPOD at boardgeorge.com for a sweet little treat. Thanks to Meg Cut and Call It for our video and audio editing, and we will catch you next time.